Hey guys, how are we doing? So, obviously the Mother's Basements videos for SAO were good, and is What's in an OP for SAO was pretty decent video. And then after watching Super Wolf Eyepatch's video on why you should watch SAO, to then go from Mother's Basements video and see that he's done a What's in an OP for One Punch Man, it's just pretty damn cool. So I just thought, stick with the One Punch Man stuff for now, I guess. So yeah, I won't talk on too much. I'm on my last day of Comic-Con. I'm trying to film as many and upload as many videos as I can while I'm here, because the internet is just so friggin' amazing. I'm trying to get a bit ahead. But anyway, let's get into this. What's in an OP? How strong is One Punch Man?
One Punch Man is the best. I could be making that statement about the anime, the manga, or the superhero, and it would still be true. It's easily the funniest show this year, which is actually saying something, but it also outshines most other contenders in the realm of action and animation. Its OP, The Hero by Jam Project, mainly exists to remind us just how the best Saitama is, and of course to get us pumped to watch the show. Since I already talked about many of the structural tricks this OP uses to build hype in my Haikyuu video, today I'll be using my S-Class powers of pedantic analysis, along with a little bit of science, to measure how OP the Saitama we see in this OP is. That might get confusing.
Oh, God.
For the record, in this context, OP means opening theme song, not overpowered. As the music builds, we enter on the only thing we really could. Saitama's almighty fist hurtles towards us against a black void. This singular focus gives us some idea of its immense strength, which is subsequently emphasized by how fast it appears to be moving. First, it catches fire due to atmospheric friction, which means it has to be moving at upwards of Mach 4, that's 4 times the speed of sound. Then a burst of light emanates from it before it apparently turns white. This effect could be caused by a phenomenon called blue shifting, which occurs when objects approach each other at high speeds, compressing the light waves coming off them. It's exactly like how the Doppler effect causes engines to sound high-pitched as they come toward you, except with light. We see light with short wavelengths as blue, while light with longer wavelengths is red, so sufficiently fast objects have a blue tinge from the front, while conversely from the back they'll appear to be red. In theory, this means that the fish should look green, not white, but I'm going to assume they took artistic license because A, that wouldn't look as cool, and B, it supports my speculation. As you can probably imagine, objects have to be moving awfully quickly for this to be noticeable, since light moves, like, really fast. For the glove to shift this drastically, it would have to be approaching the speed of light, which is pretty goddamn scary for anyone on the receiving end of it. There's plenty of evidence in the comic to suggest that Saitama can go as fast as or faster than light, at least if light speed Flash's boasts about his own speed can be believed. That theoretically puts every punch Saitama throws in the same realm as the Flash's infinite mass punch, except from a standing start, which is scary strong.
Yeah, he doesn't have to
Saitama's
run
next
around
punch,
to,
which,
like,
judging from the look on his face, is a serious strike, shatters the void itself, bringing us to a flashy title card and eventually to the Earth. Interesting tidbit, One Punch Man's version of Earth as seen from space here is comprised of a single supercontinent in the shape of Japan's Saitama Prefecture, for which the show's hero is named. Next, we see Saitama marching forward against the backdrop of 4 increasingly huge and monstrous images. First a tiger, then a demon, then a dragon, and finally a mighty Feng Huang, or Ho-Oh, a mythical bird often mistaken for a phoenix by Westerners. These, of course, represent the 4 disaster levels used by the Hero Association to categorize threats: tiger, demon, dragon, and god. As is the case in the anime, the low disaster level wolf from the manga is left out entirely. Each monster has its eyes set on Saitama, whose screen presence shrinks until he's barely a speck in front of the god. Their glares appear to be threatening, but knowing that Saitama has vaporized several dragon-level threats in an instant, and possibly god-level since nobody actually saw Boros to give him an accurate rating, it's more likely that they're shrinking back in fear. And since screen presence and relative height denotes power hierarchy in film, this split frame of Saitama overlooking the entire planet tells us that he's definitely more powerful than any of the things he's walking towards. Speaking of walking, Saitama is about to do a lot of that through increasingly harsh environments in a montage that highlights his loneliness as the strongest man in the world, something echoed in the song's lyrics. Also, it showcases some pretty metal monsters, all of which Saitama will definitely kill. A lot of these mysterious beings seem to just be random monstrosities made up for the OP, but some of them are ripped straight from the comics. The first we see is Giant Snowman, which, yes, is a real monster that really shows up in an extra chapter of the manga. Next are these weird penguin monsters in the Arctic, which this match cut implies are obliterated by a punch that also happens to split the entire ice sheet in the mountain in half. This imposing image is match cut again with Saitama walking down a lonely road, where he is then struck by lightning. The diffused entirely by Saitama's Chrome Dome, leaving him completely unharmed. How tough would he have to be for that to happen?
take
Ignoring
lightning.
the question of how much electrical resistance this would require, which I couldn't find a good answer to on Google, let's talk about heat. The plasma in a lightning bolt is heated to 30,000 kelvins, which is about 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun.
Damn.
Other parts of the sun are much hotter than that, but it's still crazy hot, and Saitama tanks that formidable heat without taking so much as a scratch. Out of a sea of flames emerges a giant bird-like creature, which appears to be the giant crow that attacks King's apartment in the manga. Following that, we see Saitama running on water and leaping through the vacuum of space, possibly as he jumps back to Earth from the moon after Boros launches him there. Running on water is a pretty impressive feat in itself. Saitama would have to be going at least 30 meters per second to accomplish that, which is 3 times faster than Usain Bolt, but considering that he can finish a 1,500 meter dash in an instant and punch it near light speed, that's not really all that crazy. Jumping from the moon to Earth in a matter of seconds, as Saitama does in the comics, is quite a lot faster, for example, considering that it took an unmanned rocket over 8 hours to make the same trip. The match cut between this storm above a volcano and the immense rock giant emerging out of it implies that it must be crazy powerful. It absolutely dwarfs Saitama in size, that's him down there between the credits, but that doesn't stop him from killing it dead by the end of the
just
OP.
like, "Ugh, get
But
out
I
of the
can
way."
tell the robot and worm aren't from anything specific, please correct me if I'm wrong, but they do look scary as all hell bearing down on Saitama, which of course makes it all the funnier when we cut to him casually walking past the giblets of a freshly
always
punched
the fun part,
monster.
isn't it?
Having all that build up to such a brief, if gory, anticlimax is hilarious, and it does a good job capturing the tone of the show. A few more shots impress on us Saitama's might. His muscles ripple as he throws a punch in slow motion, and he cuts an imposing figure as he strides alone through a desert. Cut to Saitama fending off a horde of beastmen in a beautifully animated action climax.
good.
Not that the rest of this OP with its dark shadows and stunning line work isn't beautifully animated too. Amusingly, all of the flashes we saw down in the quarry are revealed to be the sun glinting off Saitama's dome. The nondescript quarry in which they're fighting could be a reference to that one quarry they use all the time in every Sentai series, although that's such an entrenched trope by now that it's hard to tell if that's intentional. Saitama unleashes his devastating well, it's not really a special attack. He throws out some consecutive normal punches, which turn the beastmen into a red mist before obliterating the mountain face behind them. Theoretically, it would take a 15 kiloton detonation to take 600 feet off the top of a mountain, which means a punch from Saitama can easily outclass a nuclear bomb. Of course, if you compare his success with meteors to that one other bald guy from Armageddon, that much should be obvious. What follows is a montage of Saitama killing more foes, most of which aren't actually from the series. He leaps to trade blows with a huge monster who looks somewhat like Marugori of the Brain and Brawn brothers, but Marugori didn't have horns, and the impact blows the skin off him as well as the concrete off the surrounding ground. Now we see the Sea King getting punched, and now we don't. You have to slow things down to see that Saitama has launched him into the stratosphere, splitting the clouds above him on his way up. I'm not sure what this naked man with the star for a head is from or in reference to, but Saitama destroys him in this nondescript monstrosity quite quickly regardless before smashing the rock giant's face. This huge face in the sky also doesn't match anything we've seen in the show or comics so far, but its positioning and the way Saitama breaks through it more than superficially resemble the meteor that Saitama smashed above Z City. Genos and Speed of Sound Sonic get top billing on the first end card along with Licenseless Rider. This image doesn't say much about them, so I'm just going to take this time to point out that Rider's Japanese name, Moomin Rider, is a punny reference to Kamen Rider. Tatsumaki reps for the Hero Association with her psychic powers, along with all of the S-Class heroes who appeared so far in the manga. Note that King takes a place of prominence because King is the best. Saitama throws one last punch, breaking apart a beam of energy. This looks pretty generic, but the way the beam splits and is forced back bears a lot of resemblance to what the Sirius Strike does to Boros' Planet Buster gun, and I wouldn't be surprised if the conclusion to the Boros arc is where this anime series leaves off. And after all that intensity, there's no other way we could end it than on Saitama walking home from the supermarket with a bag of discount groceries juxtaposed with a heavy metal whale. A perfect, hilarious ending to a kick-ass OP. This OP gives us some indication of Saitama's strength, but despite all the incredible physics-defying stuff we've seen him do, that's only just scratching the surface. If the Death Battle guys ever do a Saitama vs. Superman episode, I know who my bets are on. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of What's in an OP. You'd be my hero if you punched the like button and followed it up by hitting subscribe. If you enjoy this series, stay tuned for the next episode where I'll be doing something a little different and tackling the opening to Gravity Falls. And be sure to catch up on my previous videos, as well as my game reviews for Undertale, Xenoblade Chronicles, and coming soon, Until Dawn. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter for regular updates about all those things. Also, if you're wondering why the drums got so heavy all of a sudden, that's because you're listening to a kick-ass cover by my buddy Shaky Drummer, who's got all sorts of cool anime drum covers over on his channel. I know you guys like JoJo, and he's done some great JoJo stuff, so check that out. As always, this is Jeff Thu, professional shitbag, signing out from my mother's basement.
Man, that was awesome. Like, obviously, it amazes me how, you know, say you can watch something so often and then you still miss things. Like, obviously when I'm watching an anime I'm not like dissecting every little bit, but then for him to show that when he punches the Sea King, it's not actually like dissipating, it actually does fly up in the air. I never noticed that until just now. It's crazy. I love One Punch Man, and that opening is just so freaking good. It's nice to get some meaning behind everything, and yeah, Mother's Basement, he does a really good job at analysing these things and discussing it. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. And if you've not watched One Punch Man, Jesus Christ, guys, do it. Season 2 is going to be incredible. I'm not too far ahead on the manga. I think I've only read like one manga after the ending of Season 1. I kind of prefer with One Punch Man to watch the anime first and then read the manga afterwards. So once Season 2 is done, I'll probably get back into that. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. What did you guys think of that? What did you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you have not already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what I should watch and discuss in future videos. And I'll see you guys, yes, all of you guys, next time. Bye.